Hello everyone, welcome to the 2026 Concacaf Under-17 Qualifiers official draw. My name is Pedro Velázquez and I am the Director of Men's National Competitions at Concacaf. Last year, we introduced a new era for the Under-17 ecosystem in our Concacaf region. In this new system, FIFA, the Under-17 World Cup, is now taking place annually and will feature 48 teams. Concacaf is having 8 slots in this competition. Shortly, the first edition of the annually FIFA Under-17 World Cup will take place in Qatar, and we would like to wish all the best to the 8 CONCACAF member associations participating in this year's World Cup: Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, Mexico, Panama, and the US. In response, CONCACAF has implemented a new format for our Under-17 men's qualifier, which are now also played annually. The next edition of this competition will be played from February 3 to the 12th of 2026, where the 38 registered CONCACAF member associations will compete for the 8 available spots in the 2026 Under-17 World Cup. The group stage draw for the 2026 CONCACAF Under-17 qualifiers will be conducted using a single blind system involving 5 pots. As a reminder, the format consists of a single round of group plays. Teams are divided into 8 groups, 2 groups of 5 teams, and then 6 groups of 4 teams. After round-robin play, the 8 group winners will qualify directly to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, also taking place in Qatar in 2026. The draw will use a total of 5 pots based on the CONCACAF Under-17 rankings as of April of 2025. It is important to note that only one host member association can be allocated to one group. If a host member association is drawn into a group where another host is already being placed, that team will be moved to the next available group in alphabetical order. The host MAs for this edition are Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago. Pot 1 will contain the 8 pre-seeded teams based on the ranking: Mexico, United States, Canada, Panama, Honduras, Costa Rica, Haiti, and El Salvador. Pot 2 will contain the next 8 teams in the ranking: Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Bermuda, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, and Curaçao. Pot 3 will contain the next 8 teams: Cuba, Guyana, Aruba, Barbados, Guadeloupe, British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Antigua and Barbuda. Pot 4 contains the next 8 teams: Belize, Cayman Islands, San Martin, Suriname, Anguilla, Turks and Caicos Islands, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. And finally, Pot 5 will contain the final teams: Dominica and Sint Maarten. The draw will begin with pot number 1, with the preceded teams will be drawn into position 1 of each of the groups. Then, 1 sphere from pot 2 will be drawn to determine the position 2 on the remaining groups, starting with group A. This process will continue until all the groups are filled. We will follow the same procedure, applying it to pot 3, 4, and 5 until all teams are allocated. Now that we know the competition format and the draw procedures, let's begin the draw. So we'll go with the first pots. Pot 1, first sphere going to Group A, and it's Mexico. So Mexico taking place position 1 of Group A. The next sphere will go to position 1 for Group B, and it's Panama. So Panama, one of the hosts of this tournament, going to Group B. The next sphere will take position 1 of Group C, and it's Haiti. Haiti going to position 1 of Group C. The next team drawn will go to Group D, and it's Costa Rica. So Costa Rica going to Group D. The next sphere going to Group E, position 1, and it's USA. So USA taking Group E. Let's see which team will go to Group F. El Salvador. So El Salvador going to Group F. 2 more spheres to go. Let's see which is the next team. It's Canada going to Group G. And let's confirm the last team, which should be Honduras going to Group H, and Honduras it is. Okay, now let's move along to pot number 2, drawing the first sphere to join Mexico in Group A, Trinidad and Tobago. So Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago together. Trinidad and Tobago, as explained before, is the host of that group. So let's move along to the next sphere, going with Panama, and it's Guatemala. So Guatemala, as explained before, is one of the hosts. So they will go to the next group, which is Group C, together with Haiti. Let's move along to find out who will join Panama in Group B, and it's Nicaragua. So Nicaragua will fulfill position 2 of Group B, joining Panama as the host of such group. Let's move along to find out the next sphere and which is the next team going together with Costa Rica, and it's Puerto Rico. Okay, so Puerto Rico going together with Costa Rica, that group taking place actually in Costa Rica. Let's move along to the next sphere and see who will join the US, and it's Dominican Republic. So USA and Dominican Republic together in Group E. Let's move along to Group F, who will join El Salvador, and it's Curacao. So Curacao together with El Salvador in Group F. Let's move along to find out the last 2 spheres and the last 2 teams of pot number 2. So Jamaica will join Canada. All right, and the last sphere of Group pot 2, joining Honduras should be Bermuda, and confirming it is Bermuda. So Honduras and Bermuda together. Let's move along now to pot number 3. Let's see the first sphere that will join Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago, and it's Barbados. So Barbados, Mexico, and Trinidad and Tobago together. As a reminder, Group A and Group B has a total of 5 teams. Those 2 teams will be drawn last in pot 5. But let's continue to see who will join Panama and Nicaragua, and it's Guadeloupe. So Guadeloupe, Panama, and Nicaragua in Group B. Let's move along to the next sphere of pot 3 to find out which team will join Haiti and Guatemala in Group C, and it's Antigua and Barbuda. So Haiti, Guatemala, and Antigua and Barbuda together in Group C. Let's continue now with Group D, with Costa Rica and Puerto Rico, and joining them will be British Virgin Islands. So British Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, and Puerto Rico together. Let's see who will join US and Dominican Republic in Group E, and it's St. Kitts and Nevis. So USA, Dominican Republic, and St. Kitts and Nevis together in Group E. Let's move along now. 3 more spheres to go for pot 3. Now we will find out who will take position 3 of Group F together with El Salvador and Curacao, and it's Cuba. So El Salvador, Curacao, and Cuba together in Group F. Let's move along to find out the last two spheres of this pot. Pot 3, joining Canada and Jamaica, it's Aruba. So Canada, Jamaica, and Aruba in pot Group G of pot 3. And the last sphere will join Honduras and Bermuda, should be Guyana, and it is Guyana. All right, so with that, we conclude pot 3. 2 more pots to go. By drawing pot 4, we will complete 6 of the 8 groups. And then lastly, we will just finalize Group A and B. So let's see who will join Mexico, Trinidad, and Barbados in Group A, and is San Martin. So San Martin in Group A. Let's see who will join Panama, Nicaragua, and Guadeloupe in Group B, and it's San Vincent and the Grenadines. So San Vincent and the Grenadines is a host of this tournament. They cannot be neither in Groups B, C, and D. Therefore, they will go in Group E with USA, Dominican Republic, and St. Kitts and Nevis. As a reminder, Group B already has Panama as the host, Group C has Guatemala as the host, and Group D has Costa Rica as the host. That's why we have to put St. Vincent in the next available group without a host, which in this case is Group E. Let's move along to find out who will join now again, position 4 of Group B, and it's Anguilla. So Anguilla, Panama, Nicaragua, and Guadeloupe together in Group B. Let's continue with the next sphere. We will conclude the first group of this draw. In Group C, Grenada, Haiti, Guatemala, Antigua and Barbuda, and Grenada. So that group is complete with 4 teams. As a reminder, the winner of this group after round robin play will qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Let's continue now to also complete Group D, and it's Turks and Caicos Islands, joining Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, and British Virgin Islands. So 2 groups already completed. Let's now continue to the next one. We already had Group E completed as well with USA, Dominican Republic, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent. So the next sphere will go to Group F, and it's Belize. All right, so 4 groups completed now, 2 more spheres. This one will join the next 8 teams that are already being drawn. The first one going to Group G, and it's Cayman Islands with Canada, Jamaica, and Aruba. Let's see who will join Honduras, Bermuda, and Guyana in Group H, and it's Suriname. So with that, we have concluded 6 of the 8 groups. All the groups that are with 4 teams have been completed. We have 2 more spheres that will finish this draw, and will finish the group of Group A and Group B. The first one going with Mexico, Trinidad, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and San Martin. It is Sint Maarten. So Sint Maarten and San Martin together with Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and Mexico in Group A. And then the last sphere going to Group B, together with Panama, Nicaragua, Guadeloupe, and Anguilla, it's Dominica. So Dominica concluding the draw with Group B and 5 teams. So let's quickly review the groups after this exciting draw. Group A, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Martin, and San Martin. Group B, Panama, Nicaragua, Guadeloupe, Anguilla, and Dominica. Group C, Haiti, Guatemala, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada. Group D, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos Islands. Group E, USA, Dominican Republic, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Group F, El Salvador, Curacao, Cuba, Belize. Group G, Canada, Jamaica, Aruba, and the Cayman Islands. And finally, Group H with Honduras, Bermuda, Guyana, and Suriname. There you have it, another exciting draw for this tournament. We really look forward to thrilling matches as the teams will compete to their right to represent Concacaf at the 2026 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Qatar. On behalf of Concacaf, thank you for joining us today for this official draw of the Under-17 qualifiers. We wish you a great day.